All right, guys, here we are. We got an article in Politico. Progressive group to press Biden not to run in 2024. RootsAction.org plans campaign against the president's renomination for a second term, calling him neither bold nor inspiring. Here, that's exactly correct. All right, see what they say. A left-wing group that worked in 2020 to persuade progressives to support President Joe Biden is now preparing to turn on him, organizers told Politico, with plans to launch a public pressure campaign to block his renomination in 2024. Now, let me pause on this here for a second because a bunch of new polls have come out within the past week, and they are devastating for Biden. First of all, I think there was a 70-point swing among support of Hispanics for Biden. 70-point swing. Now he's like 30 points underwater or something like that with them. Huge swing. Young people. Oh my God, young people. Well, I forget what the number was. We talked about it the other day. It was like something like 90% of young people like, we want somebody new. We're done here. We're done here. If you're a Democrat and you are getting clobbered with Hispanics and young people, you're done, son. Done, son. Wrap it up, ski. Wrap it up, ski. So, incredible numbers. Anyway, let's continue. The effort by RootsAction.org is the latest sign of unrest among Democrats about how Biden, whose job approval rating has cratered during a punishing midterm election year. RootsAction, with an email list of about 1.2 million people in the United States, said it plans to spend six figures on a Don't Run Joe campaign, with digital ads starting in early nominating states on November 9th, one day after the midterm elections. Though prominent Democrats have said they will support Biden if he seeks re-election, as Biden has said he plans to do, rank-and-file Democrats appear far less unified, roiling the party halfway through the midterm year. According to a New York Times Siena College poll released on Monday, nearly two-thirds of Democratic voters say they want someone else to be the party's nominee in 2024. Two-thirds of Democratic voters say no Biden. Unfortunately, President Biden has been neither bold nor inspiring, RootsAction said in a prepared statement shared first with Politico, and his prospects for winning a re-election appear to be bleak. With so much at stake, making him the Democratic Party's standard bearer in 2024 would be a tragic mistake. It's possible that Biden, if he runs in 2024, would quickly coalesce support from throughout the party. He accomplished that in 2020, largely winning over progressives after defeating Bernie Sanders, among other liberals in the primary. Sanders, the progressive icon RootsAction initially supported, has said he will support Biden if he runs again. Yeah, that's, Ro Khanna and Bernie they're driving me crazy. As if we can afford to have a Biden-like presidency for another 4 years where he does nothing. He sits there and does nothing as we have a number of different apocalyptic disasters unfolding around us. It flies in the face of all the left-wing talk of like, look, we're at a crossroads. This is a really important moment. We got to deal with climate change. We got to deal with corruption. We got to deal with income and wealth inequality. And then it's like, yeah, but this guy who's a zombie, who's half dead, who sucks as president, who's governing like Bill Clinton 2.0. Yeah, this guy will do. Come on, man. But Biden appears far weaker today than he did following his defeat of Donald Trump. His job approval rating has fallen below 39%. That's the average, according to the polling average. Worse than Trump's at this point in his presidency. Amazing. Worse on average, worse than Trump. Not one poll outlier worse than Trump. On average, his poll numbers are worse than Trump at this point in his presidency. They say confidence in Biden has been waning among young voters and people of color, key Democratic constituencies. In both Democratic and Republican circles now, there is widespread uncertainty about the state of each party's likely standard bearer in 2024. And then they go on to talk about Trump here. Anyway, this is a group that supported Bernie in the primary. Now, I don't know. Is this the group? I'll ask you guys. I don't remember if this is the name of the group that did those honest ads for Biden. And I got to be honest, I respected the shit out of that because they weren't like any ad that pushed for Biden in the general that was dishonest. I was immediately turned off to. But there was one group that had this ad campaign it was Bernie Sanders supporters who were like sucking it up and voting for Biden in the general. And they made honest arguments for him. And I remember watching those ads being like, now this is refreshing. Because they were literally making a lesser evil argument and pointing out, well, here are the few issues where we think Biden will be better, so we're going to go with that. And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is the exact kind of an ad campaign I could get behind because it's like, you're not bullshitting anybody. You're just being honest. Like, yeah, this guy sucks, but he's better than Trump, so what are we going to do? Here are the things about NLRB, it'll be more pro-union in that respect. Supreme Court pick wouldn't be as psycho. Like, yeah, those are things that you're like, fair enough. Fair point, dog. Fair point. So I don't know if this was the group that did it, but one group did that. But this group supported Bernie, then pushed for Biden in the general in 2020, and now they're saying, no, we got to get him out of there. We got to get him out of there. We got to get him out of there. Somebody needs to primary. It's a wrap. It's done. It's over. You're terrible. You're not delivering. And does this story really matter? Ultimately, I don't know if it matters, because let's say Biden, the most likely scenario is Biden ends up running in the general again in 2024. And these same groups are going to turn around and be like, well, now we got to vote for Biden. And so, I get primary, it's different, it's earlier, you want more choices, that's all fine and dandy, but my understanding of these, progressive groups and institutions that are in the vicinity of Washington, D.C., is that ultimately they all seem over time to become more team players. I don't know of any real outsider groups that end up in Washington, D.C. and then maintain their outsiderdom. It seems to go away relatively quickly, and they end up being a lot more toothless than they should be. So ultimately, I don't know if this is going to matter, but the fact of the matter is we are at a point where, at least for a primary, the party is fleeing Biden at a million miles an hour, and they are correct to do so.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.